So we'll begin. As we connect to our breath, and the ground. So to establish ground connection, I like to use a couple of aspects of my body. The active feet, just slightly articulate and feel the foot bones move. And two, just a very gentle downward reach through the bones of the pelvis. The sit bones, the tailbone, together, almost working like a three-pronged plug. And as we feel those three prongs, those three bones, right there in the middle of that triangle, that's the base of our core. Now align the top of the skull over that three-pronged set of bone points. So I'm kind of orienting around core. And allowing for breath to perfuse that entire space, that entire interior space. Feeling the shoulders relax. For our breath work this morning, we're going to work 10, 10, 10, meaning 10 in, 10 hold, 10 out. If you like the addition of the fingertips on the ground, assisting, supporting that vertical growth, that elongation, you may do so. For a count like this, I like to begin by exhaling everything out. And keeping the top of the skull lined up over the pelvis, the tailbone, we'll begin that 10 count inhale. Pausing, holding, and allowing that breath to seep in, if you will. The act of softening conducts energy. You feel the little ebb and flow and those tiny inner motions. 10 count exhale. We'll do just 2 more breaths like so. 10, 10, 10. And you can do those on your own. As we soften, the solidity of the body melts. It gives way to that which is moving, circulating, fluidic, always in transition, changing moment to moment. After that round, we'll change the cross of our legs to shoelace. I've begun right over left. We'll work side bend in shoelace. So we'll place the right hand on the ground beside us, about a foot off to the side. Inhale, drawing the left hand away from the left sit bone. Then usually there's a moment right here at the top of this inhalation where I can feel the pelvis and the hip soften, almost sink back down into the ground. Exhaling, reach with that left arm to your right, moving into side bend. Now, as we twist toward this right thigh, inhaling, bring this left hand down on the right side of your mat. Left arm contacts right thigh. And with the hands on the ground, you can exert this gentle pulling action, pulling like we pull in cobra, the chest forward. Staying very soft underneath the heart and diaphragm. Inhaling, let's back out of that side, coming up right. And we'll switch sides. So shoelace, left over right. And we've got 2 moves, beginning with side bend. Set the left hand down, inhale, draw the right arm up. Same time, letting that right side of pelvis sink into the ground. Exhaling, reach to your left. And that twist. Inhaling, bring the right hand down to the left side of your body. The arm contacting the left thigh just provides a little touch point by which to feel that elongation, lengthening through the guts, the core, the trunk. There's a quality of intelligence that we access when we're sensing and participating in that fluid movement, that fluid awareness. Right? There's a particular quality of intelligence in that recognition. Inhale, come upright. And to me, it feels like a very democratized intelligence. To me, it feels like the kind of intelligence that all parts of my body intrinsically have and share. So there's a great kind of egalitarian nature to that. Let's unwind legs. It also feels unencumbered, unpredictable. The artist in me loves not being able to predict how things will unfold. Let's have the roll nearby, and let's begin with elbow to knee. The variety today will be reaching one leg up at a time vertically. So with our hands behind head, inhale the head, the shoulder blades off the ground. Spreading that breath into the low back, into the lower abdomen. And then slight curl the tailbone. It's like you're gathering the tailbone away from the ground. Exhale the left leg straight up. This is a nice time to engage all of those leg muscles around the knee, around the foot. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. We'll keep the shoulder blades elevated for this short portion. Kind of gathering the tailbone away from the ground. Exhale, the right leg reaches up, straight up. Can engage the quadricep. Spread the foot bones, lifting, reaching that leg bone up. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. Curl tailbone, exhale, left leg reaches up. Spreading the ball mounts of the feet, the bones of the feet pull low belly down. Inhale, bend left. Curl tailbone, exhale, right leg reaches up. The exhale just maintains that tailbone shift. Pull low belly down. Inhale into the low back, bending the right knee. And let's do 3 more on each side. Let's do those at our own pace. By softening the head into the hands, we can encourage that fluid movement in and through the brain. And let the breath, your feeling awareness, reach all of these abdominal parts, the colon, the procreative organs, the pelvic bones, the lower spine, the bladder. Let's just do one more. Keep this fairly simple, and we'll work frog lifting through. Frog, when we bring our feet off ground so that our knees are over pelvis, we'll then separate the legs widely apart. So the legs are both bent and apart. And when I move them apart, you'll notice there's likely the belly kind of lifts up and the back, the low back, spine bones rather, kind of peel off the ground. I'm going to encourage you to use some abdominal kind of pressure and just gently pressurize the low back onto the ground. And it'll stay there for the duration. Inhale the head, the shoulder blades off the ground. Keeping the back on the ground. Exhale, send the shins away from the pelvis. The thigh bones reach out. And then draw low belly down. Inhaling, reaching the pelvic floor. With your breath, reaching all the way down, exhale, and gathering up that tailbone, flexing the feet, spreading the sole of the foot, draw low belly down. Let's do a few more. Inhaling, there's a little bit of a relax. The tailbone kind of weighs down, the pelvis weighs down a bit. Exhaling, Gathering the tailbone toward the sternum. So there may be this line of engagement from the tailbone right up the front of the body toward the sternum. Pull low belly down. Let's just do 2 more like so, and feel for any amount of engagement or that line of connection from the tailbone right up the front of the body in the direction of the sternum. It's like knitting, gathering this front line of the body, this like a zipper on our midline. And just leaving the legs there for a moment, set your head down to exit. Use hands, help legs together. We're going to let the roll go for today. Let's instead set up for bridge. Okay. So I'm going to use a block for my bridge. Feel free to gather one close. And when your fingertips can skim your heels, establishing that arm distance, inhale into low belly, low back. And with that same kind of zipper, front of body engagement, exhaling, and start with the tailbone, like I'm kind of drawing the tailbone away from the ground. And driving down with the feet, the buttock lifts, the spine lifts, entering bridge. Now that zipper line of connection through the front of the body, from the tailbone right over the pubic symphysis, the pubic bones, right up below the navel, right up to the solar plexus area. I guess if we're being technical, up to the collarbone, but this whole front line kind of gathering, knitting, zippering that up. We do that to help relieve and unscrunch the low back. Now, with your block, you can slip that block underneath your sacrum for added support. And if you do get that underneath you, you may have to reestablish that front line of engagement by shifting the tailbone up away from the block. And connect to deep Ujjayi breath. Now establish firm right footing, right foot pressure. Inhale, draw that left leg up, reaching it skyward. And we'll trade sides. Inhale, place that left foot back down on the earth. Now, as I'm transferring weight, as I'm lifting leg up, I keep weight in both of the backs of my shoulders. So even though I'm transferring weight into my left foot to raise the right leg, which you can do now, keep weight in both shoulder blades. And this will help keep the head free of unnecessary pressure and force. And how do you soften? How do you remain kind of a conductor of energy, of aliveness? Hint, softening. Inhaling, let's set that right foot down to the ground. Press both feet firmly down, shifting the tailbone up, kind of engaging that front line, and that'll help you remove the block. And then we'll begin our descent, bringing the upper spine to the ground, mid-spine, and of course our low spine. Having lowered, let's turn onto a side and press to elbows and knees. You know I like a little dolphin in our lives. Okay. It's just a really nice compliment when I engage the sacrum, the tailbone, the base of the spine. It's really nice to allow for the head and the neck to participate in that fluid rhythm of the body, right? This spinal fluid is literally liquid intelligence. On a physical level, this is literally liquid that has fluid rhythms and communicates a lot of our signals, information, and intelligence. So let's set this up for the brain. I get my forearms out, I press the shoulders, the chest involved. I let the neck relax, the face muscles soften. And with the toes curled under, on your next exhalation, we'll press off the ground. Rather, press the knees off the ground. Again, this is just a personal reflection on some of these subtle artifacts. As I start to attune to those fluid rhythms and tides in the body, it can feel really shape-shifting, almost like I get to renegotiate felt sense of boundaries. Like there's a little spatial reconfiguration So we can feel these moments of expansion and shift. We can feel the body almost reorganizing in real time. We'll do one more move here. By walking the feet about 1 inch closer to the elbows, we may feel an increase of work in the arms. So keep lifting the sit bones away from the shoulders. Press, getting lighter in the shoulders. And feel for that breath reaching the back of the heart. There we go. It's getting really soft there. That's nice. And gently set the knees down. Slide your hands under your shoulders. And we'll press into downward dog from here. Warrior two. Inhale the right foot forward. When we reach the arms out to the side, there's some really nice movement as maybe I'm getting this for us in that upper part of the heart. So let's keep playing with that. As you inhale, turn the palms up. We'll be doing these arm shoulder rotations. And as you exhale, turn past the palms, kind of downward. The thumbs will turn down. Shift gently the chin down. Inhaling, lifting the front of the chest up, turning the palms skyward. So you feel the thumbs pointing back. Exhale is rolling those thumbs past that downward position, tipping the chin downward. Let's do a couple more breaths. So inhaling is the up move. Feel the front of the body expanding, lifting. And exhaling, biasing the back side of the shoulders, or the down move. Inhaling the right hand the right forearm to the right thigh bone, extended warrior variation. Pass the left hand behind back, latch onto thigh or waistband. release. I'm going to set up for a couple of lunge variations. So first, I'm going to set the hands and the knee down. If you require padding under your knee, now's a good time to add it. And when the knee feels good, we'll draw the arms up. And these fluid tides to which I'm referring, they're subtle motions or artifacts. We can attune to them. We can teach ourselves to attune to them. So this isn't like a nice conceptual analogy. You really can participate in have these tides that shift and impact our being in this. And we can feel like we're conducting more than blocking or holding or storing. Okay. So now, part 2, we'll grab that left foot with both hands. Here's the thing, if I can only grab it with one hand, grab it with the left. And if my right hand can also grab it, and that'll be 2. Now I must push down firmly with right foot to keep lifting. Chest away from pelvis. And everything that we had done in those abdominals, that zippering, that knitting up of that front line, now's a good place to feel that structural support. So tailbone, pubic bones, and feel this almost zippering, knitting up all the way to the sternum or collarbone if you're following the ancient maps. Okay. But as I engage that front line, I just get a lot of support from my backside. My backside can breathe. All right, twisting lunge. Let's release that left side. Okay, backing the weight over the left knee. Inhale, draw the left arm up. Exhaling, twist, hooking left arm over right thigh. This knitting of the front line of our body, it's different than scrunching or bracing your abdomen. So if you've had some athletic pursuits that are about creating the most dense contraction there, it's a little bit different. It's that feeling of connecting the pubic bone through the chest area, which kind of opens up. It helps, you might feel it here, the back or the left side of the ribs breathing. Okay, now twisting lunge interlock. Slide the left armpit even closer to the thigh. Pass the right hand behind the back. Connect hands. And if the shoulder doesn't quite get there, just a little hip area clothing grab will work. Let's remain here just an extra breath or two. What would that feel like, everyone, if breath could reach the heart? If it could get in to that width of shoulder, all the way up to the collar and the chest bones. It takes a little stick-to-itiveness to stay with the breath. Let's unwind. Inhale. We'll set the hands down. Exhaling, step back. And we'll lower all the way down to the ground. When the pelvis is down, cobra. Place the hands forward. Reach legs back. Inhale. Here's that pulling action. A palm press down. Pull ribs away from hips. Exhaling, lower, downward dog. Kite hawk, warrior two. Inhale, left foot between hands. When we draw the arms out to the sides, turn the palms up. And then exhaling, turn the thumbs down. When I move chin down, I lengthen my upper back away from my back pockets. We'll do a few. So inhaling, I turn the palms up, bring my head over my heart, lifting the chest. And then exhaling, I turn the palms down. As my shoulders rotate, I lift the back of the heart up, tipping the chin down. And it's okay if those shoulder areas get warmed up, because we'll be twisting and moving those shoulders in a few interlock places. Extended warrior variation. Inhale the left forearm to your left thigh. Pass the right hand behind back. Connect to thigh or clothing. Use the sensitivity, the pressure, the feeling you have for the middle of your foot. Press through that. Feel the ground with the middle of your foot, and just learn if that helps you feel some buoyancy under and in the heart. I'll say that again. Feel the middle of the foot pressing the ground. And learn if that helps you breathe and support the heart from underneath. Yeah, because it just feels like there's still a lot of weight or like inaccessibility around the heart, the collective practice heart. Sometimes just a little added groundwork, foot pressure, can help us get right in and under that heart with our breath, with our mindfulness. Yeah, giving that heart a lot of space. And that's the beauty of enacting and participating in space, is when I start to feel more of that spatial quality in the body, energy moves. Right? When we release, we're setting up for lunges. Have padding down for the right knee. And we'll start there, placing the right knee down, drawing the arms up. So the space that I often refer to and cue us to feel, it's not void. It's not empty or dead space. When we can perceive space, often, and the flip side of that is we can perceive fullness. We can perceive the fullness of life in that space. It's anything but a void. It's anything but dead. So in this simple lunge, you may find where's maybe a millimeter more space you can discover. Maybe it's right between a rib, or right in those hand bones. That's it, Crystal. Yes. It's so cool because when you're enlivened by that spatial discovery, it's evident in the collective, right? We get to feel good off you're feeling good. All right. Now, when we reach for the foot, lunge with chest opener, reach for it with the right hand or both hands. So if you can only grab your foot with one hand, make it the right one. There we go. So I know there's a few of you, at least, that can start to feel those fluidic shape shifts occurring inside. That's pretty cool, you know. All right, when we release, there's a couple twists in our future. So set that right foot down, back our hips weight over the right knee, and inhale, draw that right arm up. Exhaling, that right arm over left thigh. we slide the right armpit down, we'll move into twisting lunge interlock. So here, we can pass the left hand behind our back, possibly connecting hands. Release. When we inhale, unwind. We'll set the hands down, exhaling the left foot back that we may lower all the way down to the ground. Reach back through the legs. Inhale, cobra. Palm pressure down. Floats the chest up. Pulling the elbows back. Kind of frees up the mid-ribs. Exhaling, lower, downward dog. Gently set knees down. We'll do one final move before we rest. So really simple. Sometimes we do this standing alternate twist where we grab our foot, and it's usually we're balancing. We can do this a little differently. So I'll show you a couple of options. I'm getting my strap ready. Okay. So option one is I can leave my left leg on the ground just as support. Okay. It can be very simple. So it's just a very easy twist. You'd use your right hand to press your chest up and use your left hand to hold your right foot. Now the other move I can do is reaching my right hand behind my back and grabbing my thigh, or I have my strap, so I can grab my strap. Okay. So just kind of depends if you need that right hand for balance on the ground, or if that possibility exists to grab your left leg. So I'll talk through it again. I've got my left leg down on the ground. I'll show you this way too. My left hand grabs the outer edge of my right foot, and I'm pressing the right foot into the air and away from my body. In this way, I turn to the right. It should feel familiar, like those standing twists that we often do, holding the leg. My right hand can reach behind and grab left leg or waistband or strap. Now, both your sit bones, very likely they're planted on the ground. Inhale, grow the chest away from the sit bones. That's it, Tara, that's it. So it really takes some intrinsic, some deep internal support to keep lifting, floating, lengthening, to find that internal space. You might even feel like you're lifting your guts up, Marissa. There you go. There you go. Starting to move. Good, good, good. Good. And then we'll bend that right knee, set the foot down, we'll release, and we'll switch. Okay. So I'm bending my right leg and letting it rest on the ground. I know I'm going to want a strap, so I'll just loop it around my right leg. Okay. Right hand grabs the outer edge of my left foot. I'm going to start to straighten it. Okay. My left hand can post on the ground. By pressing, I can gain some verticality. So just perceiving space by whatever support means needed is really cool. Just giving ourselves that chance to log in. Ooh, this feels lighter. This feels taller. This feels... And if the left hand can afford to reach back, you can grab a thing. Good. And keep pressing through the inner foot, Marissa. You can actually use the left hand, Nancy, to lift the chest up. By pulling, you can lift. And bending the left knee will release. And we'll take a little Shavasana. So, if you're ready for that, add layers or lie back. And encourage us to, in these moments, if you recognize the feeling of renewal, reset, or rejuvenation, or just whatever is right, whatever feels good, like something good just occurred in your person. So allow for that to be acknowledged, breathed. Letting that have its place in your body. When you're ready, bend knees, turn to a side, and press yourself to seated. Spending each day with you has been a really good thing. So thank you, thank you. Namaste.